Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. And one of the questions I keep getting recently, and I'm not sure if it's the same couple of people asking this, but it keeps coming up over and over and over in the comments. And this is something I guess I haven't addressed in a long time. And that question is, Jason, what would you recommend for someone who wants to train 5 or 6 days a week, whose goals are purely hypertrophy? They don't compete in powerlifting. They don't compete in Olympic lifting. They don't compete in something to where they have some lift, specific lift that would benefit from doing that lift 5 or 6 days a week. What would I recommend for them? Either a shitload of steroids or for you to go get psychiatric help. Because if you think that a drug-free lifter is going to gain a single ounce more muscle by training more than 3 to 4 days a week, you're fucking crazy. You are fucking insane, and you should probably go seek the help of a therapist. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. I'm saying it because I don't know what world you guys live in to where you think that there's an infinite amount of muscle mass that you can stimulate, or that you don't reach a certain threshold to where you're just not stimulating more growth. You're just simply breaking down muscle tissue and impeding recovery, or particularly connective tissue recovery. There's no reason for a drug-free lifter who isn't trying to improve upon specific lifts and things to train that often. You guys aren't taking the drugs to regenerate your connective tissue or to reduce connective tissue inflammation, to cushion the joints. You're not using all the nandrolones and the dianabol and all the other stuff that you need to train that way. So why you would think that you should do so is just silly. You are the guys who come in, and since they don't know what else to do with their time training 5 or 6 days a week, and they don't want to do 20 sets of squats and bench presses a week, they end up doing endless amounts of side laterals and tricep extensions, and you're the guys who end up with shoulder impingement injuries after a few years of training. You're the guys who complain about tendonitis in your triceps because you're trying to train like a guy who uses high doses of drugs to help with those issues without using the drugs. And to be honest, you're not going to gain any more muscle without drugs training more than 3 to 4 days a week. The majority of you could probably gain all the muscle you're going to gain training 3 days a week. Some of you will do better with 4 days a week. Virtually none of you are going to gain more muscle by training 5 or 6 days a week. If you really feel like you need to be in the gym more, then maybe you need to get a life outside of the gym, because if you don't compete in anything, then maybe you should start competing in something if you're that dedicated. Maybe go get into powerlifting, because that's the only sport most of you are going to be able to do to where you're really going to benefit from training that often. So you go squat 5 or 6 days a week, or you need to reassess what's going on in your life. You need to get some other sort of life. Because you're not a competitive athlete, there's no reason for you to be in the gym that often, unless you're just there to do cardio and other stuff too. But the weightlifting, there's no point in it. It's probably counterproductive. And you're not hardcore by doing it. You're not making more gains. You're just burning through calories, burning through recovery ability, beating up your connective tissue. And odds are, if you're writing your own programs and you haven't read a lot of books on this with that type of frequency as a drug-free lifter, you probably have no idea how to program it. So you're probably going to just burn yourself out and get overuse injuries. So I would recommend you don't do it. Go back on a normal, sane 3 to 4 day a week program. There are plenty of brutally hard programs that have you in the gym 3 days a week for an hour, hour and a half or less, or 4 days a week, that have put thick slabs of muscle all over their body on countless lifters, thousands and thousands of people. And you can take the other 3 to 4 days off, or spend that other 3 or 4 days working on cardio or conditioning or some other physical activity that doesn't beat up your connective tissue the way that training does. All right, guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.